Good morning. My name is Doug Line, and I manage the OTEC ServiceNow development team. And we'd like to take a few moments today to talk to you about some new latency tools that we've developed. The intent of this functionality is to reduce the number of latent open incidents that we have within the ServiceNow instance by sending email reminders to both the customer, those folks in the caller field, and the service provider, those folks who are in the assigned to or the assignment group fields. So initially, when we're rolling this out, this is only going to apply to incidents that are assigned to OTEC shared infrastructure groups. I'm going to start out here on the OTEC test instance. I've already logged in, and I'm just going to go down to the incidents themselves, and I'm going to go to all of the open incidents. I'm going to find all of the open incidents in the test instance. I'm going to pick this incident right here to show you how this works. Now you'll note there's a new field here called customer replied. The only groups that see this are OTEC shared infrastructure groups. Other folks do not see that. I'm going to assign this to myself. Caller was Ann. So let's say that we've been working with Ann on this for a while, and it's reached a point where I need some additional information from her. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the state to awaiting user info. So I'm going to pop down here, and I'm going to write Ann a little message. Hey, before I can proceed, I need some more information from you. I've set this to awaiting user info, and when I update this, you'll notice that we get a little blue box letting us know that this particular incident has been set to a state of awaiting user info, and it tells us what's going to happen. The caller is going to receive reminders every 3 days, and I, as the assigned to, will receive those email reminders every 7 days. Now, keep in mind, if you're one of those groups that do not assign items to individuals and you change the state of an incident to awaiting user info, everyone in your group is going to get that 7-day reminder, not just one individual. So make sure that you are not creating a lot of extra email for the folks in your group. Keep the incidents assigned to individuals. At this point, we have set that to awaiting user info. There is now a clock running, and in 3 days the first email reminder will go out to Ann. So I'm going to show you now how we can see when Ann replies. So if I go back to my home page, there's one other thing that we need to do to make sure that we get some kind of a visual cue when that end user responds to our request for additional information. It's not in here right now, so I'm going to use the cog here, and it is called customer replied. And I'm going to say OK. Now, you'll note almost all of these are false right now. At the same time, I'm going to go in as Ann at this point, okay? So I'm logged in as Ann, and I want to see items that I have submitted, so I'm going to switch over to the self-support homepage. So you can see, here's my request to Ann. Hey, I needed some more information. She was sent that message 3 minutes after I changed this incident from a state of new to awaiting user info. She receives her first email. The subject is additional information is required to assist you. And if I open this up, we'll see, we've given her a couple different options here. They can update it, they can reply to the incident, or they can close it directly from the email itself. And so if I'm Ann, I've seen this. So I'm going to update this as Ann, and I'm going to pop back over to impersonate myself so that you can see what this looks like on your ITIL homepage. As I scroll down, I'm looking for that indication that she's replied, and there it is, that orange dot. There's the field we included. That's an indication that she has replied to that. So if I open that up, you'll see the state has been set back to active and has provided her additional information. Here's my original message. So at this point, I've got the information that I need. I can resolve her incident. And everything is just fine. A few interesting items to note. I want to point out there are a couple different ways to turn that indicator off. When you're looking at any of your items in a list view like this, you can simply double click on the item itself and change this from true to false. That will eliminate that. Or if you go into the incident itself, as a best practice, come back into the incident, click the check mark next to customer replied, scroll down to find out what the information was they provided you. If the information that they provided is enough to resolve the incident, go ahead and resolve the incident. If not, set the whole thing over again by setting this to awaiting user info, asking the end user for additional information, and updating the record. Another interesting note is it's important to keep in mind that this functionality only works for items that are assigned to OTEC, shared infrastructure groups. Any items that you may have that are already in the state of awaiting user info, this functionality will not start until you go into those incidents and change the state to something else other than awaiting info and then back to awaiting user info. It will not automatically start generating emails to the 288 items that we already have in there. So those are two very important things to note. We hope that you've enjoyed this presentation. We hope that the tools help you and your customers close our incidents in a more timely fashion. If you have any feedback for us, please don't hesitate to contact either myself, Jeff Kraft, or Debashree. Thank you, and have a nice day.